What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back for another unboxing and review. As you can see, it's all about the Punisher on the bike. Let's open this thing up and check it out. Well, before we actually open the Punisher up, I guess you're asking yourself, what's changed? This down here's changed. That's right. I've actually got my collection actually on shelves now, or part of my collection. Got some lights. So since I'm remodeling upstairs, I needed a place that's more, I don't know, more me. So this is what we got going on now. But hey, we're not here to talk about this. We're here to talk about this. I mean, this thing is just plain wicked cool. I mean, there's parts of me don't even want to unbox it. It's so cool. But I mean, definitely check this thing out. I mean, it's just so, it just looks good in the box. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting, I guess, take on what we're thinking about with 2-packs. I mean, we're used to seeing, you know, 2-pack figures, but now with the accessories in this motorcycle, I mean, this is probably going to be right up there, top 2020. I mean, we haven't gotten much in 2020, but I mean, come on, we can't really argue the cool factor of this particular 2-pack. And I call it a 2-pack because, hey, it's got a motorcycle in it. That counts. It's got to count, right? But let's get this thing out. Come on. Wow. That was loud. But clamshell right there. We got some really cool figures. The bike, the weapons, everything. But I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and get everything out of the clamshell because you guys don't need to hear all this racket. And we'll come back and take a closer look at this awesome motorcycle and Punisher. All right. Got it out of the clamshell. And I'm telling you right now, so impressed with this figure. Even without the accessories, the bike and the figure is awesome. But let's talk about the accessories. He actually does come with a alternative head sculpt, which is basically a non-damaged. The one that's actually on the figure, there's bandages and things like that where he's been in a fight. So I don't know necessarily which head sculpt I'm going to use all the time. I think the helmet, which is very cool, I think it actually may, I don't know, I might use it on this head sculpt, but the grimacing on this one actually looks pretty cool too. So I got decisions to make, but that's really nice to have, the helmet and the alternative head sculpt. As far as weapons goes, we'll start with the bat. It's definitely not Negan's. I think it needs to be a little darker. It's just too clean. So I plan on actually weathering this bat to make it look a little bit more used. That's just my personal opinion on that. The same thing for the machete. It's too clean. When I think of Frank Castle, Punisher, machetes, I'm thinking it's used. So it'd be nice to have a little chipping in it, maybe some kind of a dry brushing, aged look. I think would look really cool. He actually does come with a 12-gauge sawed-off shotgun, which is very well detailed. Again, it's just a little too clean, you know, but it looks great. It looks really, really good. His two other weapons, he actually has a Uzi, which this is the larger format of the Uzi. These have a fold-out stock, which this does not fold out, but that would be a nice touch. It has a lot of great detail to it. It could just use maybe a little rubbing buff, a little silver rubbing buff, just to give it some contrasting colors. I think that'd be really cool. And his other weapon is officially a Tech 9. This is a 9mm weapon, and it is literally the most useless weapon ever created by man. You cannot hit the broadside of the barn with it. It's literally useless. So, well done on that. But again, it's all black, but it has some really good detail, and I think a little bit of rubbing buff, especially around this vintage shroud right here over the barrel, I think will look really, really good. So let's pull these aside, start looking at the figure. The figure itself looks great. The head sculpt looks great. The bandages and the butterfly bandages that are covering his cuts up, I think, are very well done. It looks great. I'm really curious about the articulation with this figure because he is sort of more muscular. So shoulder-wise, that's about normal, so that's not bad. The big thing I'm curious about is elbows. I'm really curious about the elbows. So let's do it. Let's see what he can do. So there's 90. Oh, wow. That's impressive. Now, I've seen figures that were so much skinnier than this with like no muscles that did not have that good of articulation in the elbows. I mean, he literally, his hands can touch his chest. That's Hasbro. Good job on that. Head articulation. Let's see. Let's pull his arms down. Side to side, not much, if any. There's no side to side. Front to back, let's see how far he can look up. Wow. He can look straight up in the air. I don't know why I just did that. But that's really good. Looking down, he can definitely put his chin to his chest. Again, that's really, really cool. He does have an ab crunch. Articulating back, that's not bad. Let's see if he can do a sit-up. Can he do a sit-up? Yes, he can. The Punisher can actually do a sit-up. That's awesome. That just means we'll be able to be more creative in our poses. Let's pull his arms back up. As far as his hips goes, before that his waist, we still have a side-to-side. Hip articulation, that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Since the elbows were so good, let's see if the knees actually... Okay, that's okay as well. That's some good articulation. There's nothing wrong with that. He does have a thigh rotation as well. Again, it would be nice to have a toe pivot, but we don't have one. Side to side's decent. Pointing the toe up is so-so. Pointing it down is better. But overall, the articulation it's good. For such a bigger figure, one that actually, more muscular, that's pretty impressive. I can't complain. So, good job. One of the things that people, when I commented on my hunt video, when I picked this up, they sort of wanted me to give a perspective because I'm a motorcyclist on what I thought in regards to this motorcycle. First and foremost, it's a good-looking bike. It's a really good-looking bike. I can't, scale-wise, it's great. And I have a reference I want to show you here in a minute when it comes to the scale. But from a point of view, from me being a motorcyclist, I did find some things that they're wrong. Number one is right here. These are your blinkers or running lights. They won't be red. Sorry, they won't be. Amber, maybe, but white, no red. On the back, we actually have the brake lights, which would be red, but that's not aesthetically or functionally correct. So, got a speedometer on it, which has a Punisher logo, which is cool. from a perspective of this type of handlebars, they're actually known as ape hangers. They are designed to put your arms up. So basically, you're like this. So that's why they're so tall. That is an actual style of handlebars. Moving on down, I wish the engine compartment, the cylinder heads, and the actual casings had some color to them. Can you get a completely blacked out motorcycle? You can get 90% blacked out, but there's still some hints of color. And a lot of that has to do with safety, to be honest with you, because motorcycles don't have a lot of lights on them. You got a headlight, tail lights, blinkers. So if you're riding at night and it's all blacked out, it's not the safest thing in the world. Mufflers, that's right. Even the license plate, the angle of that's common. I do like the license plate, Punish 616. That's cool. The only thing, and I'm nitpicking right now, and this has nothing to do with the aesthetics of a real motorcycle. This side right here is all flat on the cylinder heads, but this side there's 3 screws. And those holes are just annoying me right now. They literally are just annoying me because those 3 holes are going through this detail right here. And it just, that should have been some plugs, I think, personally. But again, I'm looking at it from an adult perspective, from a photographer perspective. I might actually take some black clay and actually fill these holes because that is driving me crazy. I definitely will be using some rub and buff or some of this wax metallic silver and doing some highlights on the cylinder heads, the vents, and things like that. I just think it'll add a nice little touch. But overall, it's nice. It's really nice. Now, we move Frank over here. Let's look at perspectives here. All right, so this is the bike that comes with the Punisher. So let's put him in the middle. And these bikes right here are 12 scale. These are from Mastio. I don't know how to pronounce it. But now, if we look at the scale, the figure versus the bikes, I actually bought this to use with action figures, like, Spider-Man or something like that. It will work. There's nothing wrong with these, and you can get them at Target or Walmart. They're great additions to having something for your action figures. But this is so much better. So much better. Now, if we take Frank, you can see the difference here. This looks like a mini bike with this figure on it. But if you come over to his bike, see if I can get him to stand, look at the proportions. The proportions are so much better. So, me personally, I would love to find another one of these 2-packs to get another one of these bikes, because I think this is such a beautifully done bike. Again, you can use these, nothing wrong with them, but this is so much better. But yeah, such a wicked cool figure. I definitely think that it's worth the price point. I do not have any issues with it really at all. I will say this. If you see this right here, this isn't a peg hole, right? A lot of people think that this is a peg hole. It's not. This is, if you look closely at it, it's a buckle. So his shoulder straps, this is actually attached. It represents a buckle. So it's not a peg hole. So don't look at it and go, well, what's supposed to peg in right there? Nothing. If you wear camera straps or holsters or anything, it's not uncommon to see a center back buckle. That's what that is. I personally am going to paint this one silver, or again, use some rub and buff or something to give it a little bit of color. And I might actually do this with some of the other buckles as well. But guys, I think that's going to do it for this unboxing video of the Punisher and the bike. I think it's wicked cool. Definitely let me know in the comments if you pick this up. Let me know what you think about it. And hey, if for some strange reason you only wanted this and you want to get rid of the bike, let me know. I'll take the bike off your hands. Also, let me know what you think about this. I've done something a little different. Just, changing things up. I'm redesigning things upstairs, so I needed a more of a permanent place to set up. So I'm trying to make it more like what I'm used to upstairs. But just let me know what you think. Yes, no, maybe. Thumbs up, thumbs down. But guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. If this is your first time to my channel, please make sure and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you got notifications turned on. That way you'll know when I drop videos. And always remember, toys refresh your soul. And I'll see you next time.